Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Hey, Max.
Yes?
You really think we all have a purpose? That everything happens for a reason?
I used to think that, but not anymore.
Then, wait, why do you sound so calm? Aren't you getting annoyed?
Not in the least. But I do apologize, Dr. Fenhill. It sounds like I have annoyed you.
Fine, be that way.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
Hey, Cap.
Felix keeps asking me to watch some adventure serial with him. It's not my thing, but he's real sweet about it.
I like what you've done with the place. Kitschy collectibles are such a human inclination. I understand we have decided to continue supporting the outlaw scientist, Dr. Phineas Wells. Welcome back, Captain. Take care. We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
I'd wager this is the outpost. Time to take up.
To shreds, you said?
Clean cycle step 2, industrial stain.
We're done here. Hey, take a gander. The door's busted. Rebecca? Anders? You in there? Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it. Oh no. Oh no. What did you do?
Sam, making blood stained clean again.
They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you! The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses! At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth. Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the mana queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick. That'd be boring. Half the fun in exploring is the fact that you're on an unknown trail. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Silla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
Never seen the Veil lit up like this before.
Nicely done.
What do you think you're doing? Just don't make more paperwork for me. All right?
Crew report. Bioka is drunk. Surprise.
Organic waste discovered in location X99-Orange-527-1. Positional mess now qualified as recurring. Calculating possible solutions. Calculating. Calculating. Preparing to move all items quantified as containing alcoholic properties, as found on the premises.
So, we're just gonna march straight into Byzantium and acquire some rare chemicals right under the board's nose? I sure hope you negotiated for a raise with this Phineas guy. Ever notice how this job gets bigger and more dangerous every time he calls in? He's asking a lot, Captain. Makes me wonder what your angle is. That's one way of looking at it. Another is that he pulled you out of hibernation without your say-so and got you to do his dirty work. Besides, none of this is your mess, so why go dirtying your hands with it? Guess I hadn't looked at it that way. Still, Phineas isn't your only option. The board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got more than enough bits to pay it. I've got no love for the corporations, but they know how to take care of their people. The ones at the top, anyway. Exactly. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders, so I probably don't need to tell you this, but look out for yourself. No one else out here will. Don't mention it, just speaking from experience. Anything else?
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
Destination reached. Silla. I think I'll initiate an
detected.
Everyone all right?
Unit's middle name. Sam cleans it up. Centrifuge mode activated. Unit's performance evaluation is sterling.
Opening fire! I am a storm!
Clean up. Petition.
Incoming! Libations on me, folks! That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up? I took a job once to clear out a rat nest. Partnered up with a fellow out of Fallbrook who called himself Dirty Don. Bit on the shorter side. Had a penchant for cards. Thing is, He introduces himself, and the man is immaculate, clean. He had a flowery presence to him, a pleasantness that didn't invade your space. He was just there, and you were glad for it. When we set out to hunt down the Raptidons, I found out firsthand where his nickname came from. Dirty Don killed those Raptidons with his bare hands. His bare fucking hands, Captain. He was a whirlwind of grotesque primal fury. In the end, he stood drenched in blood over the entrails of a dozen Raps. If he had a scratch on him, I wouldn't have been able to tell. It was glorious. Yeah, I never seen anything like it. Day came when he tried to take on a mana queen. Got himself eaten one limb at a time. Wonder if he tasted like soap. Oh well, live and learn. No matter how tough you are, if you're gonna fight something bigger than you, bring a firearm. What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon. Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth, something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are. Fucking right we are.
Every SAM unit comes lean, mean, and ready to clean. Thank you, customer. SAM, merciless on germs.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
You ain't making a lick of sense, Max. Of course I got a self. I'm me, Felix Millstone.
No, that is just a story you've been building for yourself from a very young age.
There, see? You just said yourself. Yourself. Guess I got a self after all. Checkmate, preacher.
Semantics and nothing more. The construction of our language assumes the existence of a self.
Whoa, slow down. What's this about construction work?
Our language has all manner of paradoxes contained within it. Tell me, what happens to your lap when you stand up?
What are you talking about? Max, you've been acting real funny ever since you and that hermit sniffed all them drugs. Maybe you ought to ask Ellie to take a look at your head.
On standby for command.
As always, and
We're in orbit over Cascadia, Captain.
here we go. I haven't set foot in here since... Well, I'm ready. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Here we go.
Putting trash in its rightful place for more than 70 years.
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired Sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable. Believe me, I had my complaints. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong. Me too, Captain. But I'm starting to think that maybe I found another. Now let's get to shooting before I get all sentimental. Incoming, Captain!
Resuming passive mode.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest. What? Why? Them's painful memories, Captain. Huh. That ain't a bad point. All right, Captain. Thanks.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
You don't think that's a problem? Whole ship's running on a computer's fancy. That'll make you nervous, Preacher?
No, Felix. The concept of a ship computer does not make me nervous. Are you scared of Ada?
I ain't scared of Ada.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's just, she's a computer, Max. What happens when her equations tell her to cut off her oxygen? Or blast us all into space?
Felix, Ada is not sentient. She can't act out of a sense of malice. Where do you get these ideas?
I was watching true stories of mechanical murderers last night.
Felix, I find your purity refreshing.
Hey, Cap. Oh, that's just Frida. She's the first rapt I ever killed. I had her preserved. It had been when I was a kid, so something on the order of 20 years. My parents were very proud. Oh, sure. Once in a while I've got to bury her and come back later. She's a big girl, tough to lug around. But she's been with me a while, so... Her. And of course, she's a great conversationalist. Never argues, never judges.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Hey.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. You know what? Fuck it. Enjoy yourself. I invest in the happiness of my workers, and you deserve a bigger cut. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. No one you saw, anyway. Glad to see you're looking out for yourself. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine says the factory needs some repairs before it's back to working order. But at least it's under our control. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? I knew it. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. You're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
We're gonna take over a whole space station? This is gonna be great! Oh, do we get to stick a flag in the ground?
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why. While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. Both. Neither. Right now, it's safer if I keep you in the dark. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me.
CNP worst. It's not the worst unless it's worst.
You mind trying to have a moment here? Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something? Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. That's Harlow's mark, no mistake. Guess he's not letting this one go. I don't want any manner of harm befalling Rufus. Not on my account. Yeah, well, you got reason to mistrust Harlow. He's a surly git, but he's devious. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know. Please, just make it quick. That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to. Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
So Clyde sent Trask the same message he sent me. What's the problem?
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow, never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus. Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order. No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I. Appreciate it. No offense meant, just been a long day is all.
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship. We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Here they come!
Still got it!
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me. Former wife. And if you so much as hurt a hair on Rosanna's head, I will put you in the ground. Yeah, okay. I'm having a conversation with a hired killer, but I'm supposed to relax. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead, and I've got no intention of dying. How do I know that I can trust you? You've got good instincts, then. You were right not to trust Harlow. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You can't be serious. I've known the guy for years.
Yeah, that's about how I reacted when I found out. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A 2-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes. Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task. Huh. You ain't like other board agents I heard about. You got a functioning spine. You want to confront Harlow yourself? Be my guest. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent. Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me. Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse. Take it you've made up your mind. You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Clyde Harlow, agent of the board. Yeah, that sounds even more insane out loud than it did in my head. I'm not sure what to think right now. You told me to be suspicious, but I never imagined Clyde would stoop to informing for the establishment. Then again, Trask knew he was a dead man. Could have been trying to shift the blame. I can't imagine Clyde working for the board. But we owe it to ourselves to find out. Trask said he stashed the evidence in a vent back at the base. We should go take a look.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Young Millstone, you look pensive.
I don't know what that means, but I've been thinking. It ain't easy carrying a torch for the Rangers.
I understand. The Rangers' victories are your victories. Their defeats are likewise crushing.
You serious? Wow, Max. Never expected you to understand.
This may come as a surprise to you, Felix, but I understand what it is to be a fan.
That's so. You know something? Maybe I was wrong about you.
To be a fan is to live vicariously through another. You feel you are one with the Rangers.
You ain't been the same ever since your drug swing, Max.
I'll lock up. Behind you.
We need to have a word with Clyde. Looks like Trask was telling the truth. It's all there. Receipts for services rendered, payments, records, ship manifests. Clyde was a pirate for hire, and the board was paying him off. In typical board fashion, they left a trail of receipts behind. Ain't that just ironic? Yeah, you and me both. Clyde owes us some answers. Something about this don't add up. And I mean to find out why.
What's the word? So it is. Thus ends Rufus Trask. Once a sensible man, by and by a fool, presently a corpse. I hope you never have to discover what it is like, Captain. The relief one feels when a mutiny comes to an end.
And Trask had some things to say about you. And I've got my own misgivings.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand? Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for. You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face. How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Heads up!
Everyone all right? Watch out!
Score one for Felix.
What was that?
Here we go! We're the best there ever was. This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think. No. I guess you really don't. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me. Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that. I hope so. I don't see this one passing anytime soon. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. Part of me wishes we'd put Trask in the ground. But, you know, I think that's just my frustration talking. Thanks for your time, boss.
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink.
So then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it. With interest.
Nice one. You must have had him quaking in their heels.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna do it. I just wanted to make him feel bad.
Good to see you, boss.
What did I tell you? Harlow's down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it.
Take a page out of my rule book. Don't trust anyone. Then it's easy. Don't get all mushy on me now. Come on, what did we just learn? People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion. Sure I can. In fact, I bet you I live a lot longer. I'm warning you, that reverse psychology stuff doesn't work on me. Sure do. And unlike you, Captain, the rest of us don't get a big fancy room with wall-to-wall windows. But let's forget about that, please. Anyway, you really want to tell me you're helping the scientist because you think he'll save the colony? And here I thought I'd seen it all. This galaxy must be bigger than I'd thought. Speaking of lost causes, there's something I've been meaning to get around to. I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've got to be worried sick. Whoa, let's calm down. I'm not asking for a favor or anything. I'm just suggesting we stop by when we're in the neighborhood. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise. Yeah, exactly. Reconnect is a strong word. And, I was thinking you'd come too. Great. And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, wear that one. Oh, and help yourself to the good snacks and put your feet on the coffee table. Mother hates that. Just know that I've got plenty more suggestions if you need them. Anything else? It's like one of those stuffy art gallery pieces. Looks okay from far off, but once you get close, you realize it's just some mismatched shit everyone's agreed to overpay for. Even the bribes are overpriced. The real question is, why didn't I leave sooner? There's all these invisible rules, and everyone spends all their energy just trying not to break them. I was a top-tier surgeon, but I could hardly open a pack of gauze without 10 people signing off first. That's no way to live. People call Byzantium the jewel of Halcyon, but really, it's just paste. Everything's polished and bureaucracy. Take a close look and you'll see it's deader than anywhere else in the colony. Don't trust anyone, don't touch anything, and whatever you do, don't show your teeth when you smile. People are extremely competitive about cosmetic dentistry. It can get ugly. Interesting like a colonoscopy. I trained as a surgeon. More my folks' idea than mine, but I made the best of it. Lots of them, unfortunately. I even sculpted a few. Turns out Byzantines are more concerned with having square shoulders and a good profile than, well, anything else. That's what I've been saying.
Good to see you, Bob.
We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static.
Nothing but the void here, Captain. I just as soon leave it cold, dark, and derelict.
Muting volume now.
We ought to keep an eye on these autos. We poke around too much, they might wake up.
Captain, I've been attempting to contact you with urgent news. However, communicational functionality was impaired due to the power outage. A UDL vessel has been tracking our position and just recently docked with the station. They are patching into the station's transmission lines now. I cannot stop.
I've been waiting for this day since we tagged your ship in Cascadia, Captain. So glad we finally have this opportunity. My ship is docked with 1084. There's no escape. I think not. The refueling system at Cascadia's landing pad logged your ship ID. You've been poking your nose into restricted locations. This makes my superiors unhappy. I could peel your ship open like a can of forest. But I'm in a sporting mood. I didn't say that. How did you gain access to that system? Stop it at once. Did you hit it yet? What's happening in there? I don't know who you are, but I have nothing to gain by risking my hide against a lunatic. Commander out.
The UDL gunship is undocking from the station. They appear to be departing into space.
Damn. I ought to try talking more and fighting less. Seems like it saves on ammunition. Nah, that ain't no fun.
I expect so.
Caution! One order of frickin' fan coming up. All Proximity analysis. External fill sterilization measures employed. Caution, contact with electrical currents can be lethal to customers.
I ever meet the people responsible for this. I'm shooting first, never asking questions. Suppose Sublight will thank us for this. I hope that thanks comes in the form of cash. Chartrand is that scientist, right? From Cascadia?
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs. Destination reached. The Groundbreaker. Good luck, Captain.
Have either of the assault cruisers ever... Rizzo's purple berry fudge. Salt sour C&P Borsted baked beans.
Finally, a base of our own. Soon we'll have eyes on every corner of the system. Well done, Captain. Technically, you did. Among other things, Sublight is a charity, legally speaking. Or so my lawyers tell me. It's a tax thing. Here, just take the bits. Aside from the automated security, did you meet any resistance at the station? I knew it. They've been shadowing us since Monarch, maybe even longer. I've been less than honest with you. Your assignments weren't strictly about the salvage business. You might have figured that out already. That's right. Up until now, I've kept you in the dark, for your protection. And more importantly, mine. But I'd like to think we've earned each other's trust. After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. I didn't like the picture. Then what we found at Station 1084 confirmed my fears. You and I have stumbled onto something big. Something none of us were meant to know. Maybe the worst. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was studying that Alta Vitae gas in secret. Ask yourself why stockpiles were hidden on a planet full of monsters. Before we go any further, I want you to keep an open mind. Can you do that for me, Captain? Aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible for the deaths at 1084, and who knows what else. We have to put a stop to it. I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not even asking you to believe it. But I need to act on this threat to the colony, and I can't do it alone.
Right. I'm done. I'm officially tuning you out until such time as I hear the words payment and/or shooting.
The crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walking into the unknown with blindfolds on. I assume you have questions? If we're gonna see this through, I'll need your trust and commitment. Now's the time for setting doubts aside. Conspiracy. One carried out with the help of human collaborators, assuming they haven't all been replaced. This is an invasion of our very cells. That damned gas is mixing our nucleon with Halcyon biology to twist us, change us, make us more like those monsters on Monarch. No kidding. That's how they want it. When I lined up the evidence in my spreadsheet, there was only one possible conclusion looking back at me. This is my data talking, not my anxiety or lack of sleep. Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She sold out her species, I need you to put a bullet through her skull. She's a research scientist and a damn good one. Before UDL poached her, she engineered a 0.2% increase in cystipig juiciness. Now she's doing the same thing with humanity. Her fingerprints were all over Station 1084. You saw what she did to her team. It's cute that you'd think that about me. I just want to add Savior of Humanity to my resume. I've got ambitions outside of this office, you know. Besides, this way Sublight gets first dibs on alien salvage. Do you usually come across innocent people trapped in suspension tanks? Because some of us would call that excessive. Remember, the tanks were just the shit she left behind. Just imagine the experiments she carted off to her next lab. We're far beyond theories. Chartrand's logs, the gas, the suspension tanks, how much proof do you need? Wake up, Captain. An invasion needs collaborators working from the shadows. She has access to the board, unlimited funds, and a colony full of sheep. Just think of it as salvaging hope from the smoking wreckage of humanity. This is your initiation into a future with Sublight. Want a steady position in our ranks? Buy one with a bullet. Well, there's your usual fee. What else do you want, a promotion? It's yours. Even better. I'll owe you one. This keycard will get you through the front door of her Byzantium estate. Don't ask how I got it. You might not like the answer. By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust anything Chartrand says. She's compromised down to the bone. Maybe even deeper than that.
Hope you find some good salvage out there. Or if you can't find some, make some. I got no clue what half the junk on this desk is for, except the lamp. Improvised weapon. Swell. Has anyone from HR given you the new employee talk? I don't actually know. That answers for both questions. Here goes. Welcome to Sublight, where salvage runs thicker than blood. We're still trying out new slogans. Sublight, because what's your alternative? I'll get that right over to marketing, once I figure out where their office is. Glad to have you on board. We could use the help after what happened to the last contractor. No, I didn't. Oh, that. Just stay on Miss Lilia's good side. Stealing office supplies is a good way to end up as salvage, if you know what I mean. Knew you were a smart gal.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
We got a lot in common, you and me. He's operating just a teensy bit outside of the manufacturer's expected parameters, huh? Evening, Captain. Or is it afternoon? I don't know how long I've been up here. Something busted, Captain?
Issuing sanitation ticket.
Captain, I wish to offer my commendations for convincing the UDL's gunship to leave HRS-1084. I did not favor the idea of being stripped and sold for parts. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Shh. No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man, and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, that's my codename for... you know, our mutual friend. Oh. I'm Golden Eagle. Yeah. I named you Cuckoo.
Oh, can I be chicken? Because chickens will adopt any critter's baby and keep him warm.
You sure you don't want to be Raven or Sparrowhawk?
Aw.
Okay. Chicken it is.
Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too? Fine, but make it a really good one.
Let's go with Rufus Hummingbird.
Forget it. Codenames are for amateurs anyway.
Too late. I've already marked it off. Can't just go reassigning codenames. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
Here we got 11 flavors of terror rays and not much else. That kind of variety? I mean, gosh, seems almost impossible.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course. Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it, and since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got.
I bet your repair folks couldn't find parts. Back in Edgewater, I'd have to take something apart just to put another thing back together.
Might have been the paperwork. Here, You have to append forms to your forms, and law help you if there's a single dash out of place. At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you? The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home and his guards never leave him.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean, can you even count how many times we've been shot at?
What work specialists, huh? Our mutual friend is really branching out. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. Good luck, Cuckoo.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want to?
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Want to be famous? Kid, you got presence. Natural magnetism. Know what I mean? Tell you what, you're gonna like it a whole lot more once we start talking bits. Listen, you got an agent? Some kind of representation? A mad scientist? Guy sounds like he's moonlighting. Here's some free advice. If you want to make it in this business, you gotta work with professionals. Listen, you got a real special quality, raw energy. I see you in pictures, kid. I'm making a feature, Space Pirates of Moros Prime. It's gonna be a hit. But we still need a star. And I think you got the chops.
Ah! Captain! You're gonna be in pictures!
Already got an entourage, huh? Way to get ahead of the game. So what do you say? You ready for the chance of a lifetime? Terrific! We're holding auditions at the studio. Head to Odeon Pictures and take the elevator. You're going all the way to the top, baby.
Anti-Creon antibiotics. The comfort in knowing that anything antibiotics cannot stop will probably kill you quickly.
Is that supposed to be a model of the system? It's not super accurate.
I once treated a lady who got her hand caught in the gears. Idiot was more worried about her rings than her fingers.
CNP chicken and potatoes. At CNP, we know our CNP. Tracer's Choice Dehydrated Water Tablets. Just add air. Now available in carbonated.
What's gone into block mining?
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams, and predictive models, we are publishing our yearly success report.
Hey, stand back, you. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back at all times. Yep, you're looking at the Minister's newest personal guard. Right here. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all. Oh, he's, medium height with, like, medium-colored hair and, like, a kind of a medium face. Just like in his posters. Everyone tells me he's very private, okay? Besides, I just started. He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony. Yeah. That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone. Yep, I've nearly made it to the top, my friend. I'm just 2 promotions away from on-the-job bathroom breaks. That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka.
Captain, I can smell him from clear over here. I reckon he's had a fair number already.
Sure have, 'cause today's my big day.
He's got powerful good ears, too.
And a powerful thirst. You have a Spectrum vodka for a new pal? Here's to me. Hey, you are really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends. Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere. Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another? It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow, you've got like this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like a manosaur. You got a manosaur energy. Oh, Laws, I gotta stop. I'm seeing at least 2 of you. I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't stop.
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Yeah. Was that one supposed to taste like Purple Berry Crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick. I just need to sit down.
Have you tried our new cocktail sponsored by Rizzo's? 1 part purple Spectrum vodka, 1 part artificial tomato-like substitute juice. We call it a Blue Bloody Mary. Oh, by all means, ask away. I don't believe in work. Work is for automechanicals and lower classes. By automechanicals, of course. Byzantium's fleet of mechanical servitors are programmed to simulate a labor force, but without all the unsightly workers milling about. We all have our roles in society. I like to think of myself as an entrepreneur. This drinking establishment is my investment. Rizzo's Spectrum Vodka is about to release its newest color, ultraviolet, completely invisible to the naked eye. What can I do for you? Then you'll want to speak with our automechanical inebriation assistant, located just over there. Quite so, but I would never lower myself to do something as gauche as tending bar. My automechanical assistant does all the work for me.
Please allow me to improve your drinking experience with fine cocktails and pre-approved banter. Request confirmed. Banter protocol activated. Welcome, attractive patron, to Billingsley's House of Inebriation. Did you know that I am a priceless heirloom, custom built for the Billingsley family? Please remember to thank Mr. Billingsley for allowing you to bask in my presence.
I've always loved that sculpture.
Sure, they look fancy, but inside, they're just marble and existential emptiness. There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning solvent and desperation.
Marilyn, is that you?
Loss! We certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. I don't know what to say. She's usually not like this. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors. She's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
That's the other problem.
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? Shh! Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind. She hasn't changed a bit, I see.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Let's just get out of here, Captain. Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time.
Let's just put this unpleasantness behind us.
Can we talk? Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I wanted them to get upset. I just thought it would play out differently. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed. Shh, I'm getting to the good part. I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug? Yeah, I'm gonna use that one day. Now, getting back to my story. Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain. Hey, the last thing I want to do is sit around thinking about all this. I want to take action. I want to... Wait a second. What if I could get that money? I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves. Something on your mind?
You must be joking.
Is Mayfield still drinking?
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
Anti-Cleo's energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups worth of concentrated caffeine with every dollar.
I love Byzantium.
You, with the hips. Over here. Let me take a closer look at you. Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. I love it. Ah, Celeste, you've done it again. I knew from the moment I laid eyes on you that I'd found my muse. I'm Celeste Jolicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs. Darling, you and that brutish swagger of yours have been on my mind the moment you stepped into my studio. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will shock this city to its core, and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me? Everything I need to know can be deduced from a first impression. You're an outsider. You're exotic. You carry a whiff of barbarism and adventure. You're the embodiment of everything I want in my new line. When I look at you, I see the very embodiment of everything the walls of Byzantium were built to keep out. Making an outfit worthy of you won't be easy. I'll need your help gathering the right materials. Marvelous! You and I are gonna wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me. My dear, fashion is a performance art. An outfit without a body is like an instrument without a player. I'll need you to model for me the following: the apparel of an iconoclast, the armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear, helmet included. And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers. None of that garbage spacer's choice pedals.
No tall shoes, though. I mean it.
You have the bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job. Fabulous! I can't wait to see what you dredge up.
You don't gotta be so forward about my reasons, Captain.
Let me get a good look at you. Turn around, please, darling. My word, such muscular shoulders. You're a vision, dear.
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense, you're absolutely lovely. Chin up now. I have just the thing for you. Let me do a back-of-the-envelope calculation. Materials, labor, licensing and copyright. There. Love. That's the ultimate luxury, darling. Love. Oh, gracious me.
I don't get why that's funny, ma'am.
Oh, my cherub. Who woos for love anymore? That's so... precious. All right, Captain. Here is the absolute best I can do for you. Darling, do I look like an amateur? I read her measurements by eye. And don't you ask, because they're no one's business but her own. There are some things I simply cannot skimp on, darling. Such a lovely young lady deserves the best. Now stand back. Back! I'll enter the settings and get these machines spinning. You'll be broke to bespoke in merely an hour. And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a splendiferous evening. And if you don't mind my asking, have you any interest in modeling?
What? Oh, no, ma'am. All them eyes staring at me? I couldn't. No way, no how. I get scared just thinking on it.
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You truly are beautiful. I hope your date sees that as clearly as I. I can't wait to see those outfits.
If I do somehow drop dead in here, promise me you'll drag my corpse somewhere with monsters.
What can I do for you, darling? I can't wait to see those out. What can I... For you? Anything. Outside Byzantium? Of course not. There's nothing for me outside Byzantium. Yes, and I'm terribly grateful you've agreed. Look, darling, I don't belong outside Byzantium any more than a fish belongs on the land. Anyway, I'm quite certain Byzantium wouldn't last 3 days without me. I'd return to a smoking ruin of hideous fabrics and mismatched colors. Byzantium has lost its élan vital. Everything about this city is so dreadfully stale. I want to make people uncomfortable the way you do. You're an outsider. You clearly don't belong in Byzantium, and yet you strut about, doing as you please. I'm not some common buttonmonger, darling. I'm an artist. It's my job to make you uncomfortable. You're very welcome. If I were an enterprising spacer in need of a wardrobe, I'd probably head to the Groundbreaker.
can you believe this outfit? It's so handsome, I'm almost afraid to touch it. Well, I guess that's everything then. After all this time, I just have to actually do it now. You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking for to fix up the air cyclers. They only carried them on big colony ships, like the Hope. I know. For a while, it felt like everything I did was a little bit of help. And it meant I didn't have to ask her to be mine. Not yet. Not for real. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. I'll send June a message and ask her over. Oh, this is real scary, Captain. I'm grateful for all you done.
Remember that stranger I saw in the square? Shh. You know, the one traveling with the rebel. I've always...
Spacer's choice. It's not the best choice, it's the Spacer's choice.
Looking for weapons? You've come to the right place. Every Byzantine needs high-quality armaments, and you won't find better anywhere else. Why? To defend their property, of course.
50-Bit says he's got a hard on right now.
Byzantium is the best of what Halcyon has to offer. It's up to us to protect it. Marauders, dissidents, especially large sprats. One never knows what threat might arise. One can never be too well armed. Who knows when the hordes may hurl themselves at our gates?
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore, my good man. I'd have to request a counter waiver, and you know how dreadful the paperwork is.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch.
All right, how does this sound?
Flakes and Purple Berry flavored powder. For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left. For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left.
My cousin's in pictures. That business makes piracy look civil.
If you could just leave me back at the ship, I'm sure there's something I ought to be fixing now.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script, but you're the real deal. Just go in there and do what feels natural. No, don't question yourself. Just feel the scene and go with it. I got a feeling you'll know what to do. We gave the other actors real weapons to keep things authentic. And 'cause Josh is paying to see their logo on the big screen. See, I knew you'd get it. Now go in there, find your mark, and show us what you got.
Well, well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills, same nutritional value, but now with added filler, are ours. With their patented stomach stuffing effects and baseline vitamin content, we will be nigh unstoppable. They are? What an unexpected twist! You may have fooled me for now, but not for long.
Are we on camera now? Because I really don't care to be.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axejack, staring one another down across the void of space while flaming debris fell like rain around us. Hey, I didn't write this, just go with it. I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers with tactical thinking and a Hammersmith limited edition grenade launcher. I've been waiting for 5 years now, and at last my day for vengeance has come! Yes, even you are powerless this time, Steele. I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors. Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field and the quantaponic chain reaction will turn this whole place into vaporized plasma.
Plasma's already a vapor-like kind of thing. You can't re-vaporize it. Can you?
Quiet. You're supposed to be an extra. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers because this is the end for you. You're not even taking this seriously. I refuse to work like this. I've done Aetherwave spots for Wentworth, I'll have you know. To the break room, everyone. I need my Moab fizzy tea.
Cut! That was interesting, kid. Real novel take. Let's take 5.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. Hey, listen, I appreciate what you tried there. We've got to review your footage before we make a final decision, though. Here, take this for making the trip down here. Don't call us. We'll call you. Maybe we need more guns.
Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
So, how many
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Triple Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
Sorry, but we don't provide directions. Sorry, but we don't provide directions.
Well, you're obviously not from around here. I don't believe I've ever seen visitors in the Bureau before, come to think of it. If you were from around here, you'd probably be off enjoying yourself in Prosperity Plaza, not poking around the Bureau. Alonso Vallejos. Extraordinarily pleased to make your acquaintance, and so on and so forth. I'm currently operating a sightseeing tour of sorts. Think of it as a guided journey across Halcyon. Would you be interested in a trial run? Glad you asked. Our tour guides you across some of the most picturesque and breathtaking sights around Halcyon. We've placed some beacons across a series of locations around Halcyon. All you have to do is follow the beacons to adventure. That slogan's a work in progress. So, what do you think? Are you interested? Outstanding! Here, you'll need this special triangulating device. Think of it as a wireless compass, pointing the way to the next beacon. When you find a beacon, this device records your discovery and directs you to the next stop on your tour. Find every beacon, finish your tour, and come back here to claim your commemorative hat. Simple!
Welcome to the Bureau of Exploration. We're not currently offering any tours.
How'd you do that so fast? Nice going.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
Burning the midnight oil, are we? The Halcyon Parcel Service's work is never done. Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service. Deliveries guaranteed within standard margins of accuracy. Halcyon Parcel Service is the most dependable parcel delivery service in the colony. You might even say we're part and parcel of Halcyon's commercial enterprise. That's just a little parcel joke. Nope, just parcels. We don't deal in packages. It's very technical. Halcyon Parcel Service strictly adheres to the standards and definitions of packaging as outlined by the Executive Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. We can ship all the parcels you want. But if I start shipping packages, I could get into some real trouble. Handcuffs and hard labor trouble.
I think we can both agree that
The Acropolis district is off limits. Move along.
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about? Honest mistake. Why don't you come back another time and we can take this from the top?
Did you hear? Marjorie Dalton and Archibald Harris are redecorating with real crystal faux windows.
You must be joking. Our fair city is pox of vagrants and undesirables, and your plan is to sit idly by.
And what would you have me do?
I don't know. Something. Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of her?
How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking.
I don't reckon so. Maybe she's talking about me? I mean, I'm definitely the greasy one.
Well, whatever you call it, do it elsewhere, and take your merry band with you. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness. I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see. I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful, and if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept.
Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list. Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one else wanted purple, but he insisted. Everyone loves the purple ones. And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He said that one came to him in a dream. He was a true visionary, so far ahead of his time. You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse. The worst thing to happen to Halcyon. A contest that gives even the lowliest to most inefficient workers a chance to live in Byzantium. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair? Oh, by the law. I mean the principle of it, not the mechanics. It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so?
She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Or do you just keep them around as a mobile armrest? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you? Fantastic. Consider yourself employed, vagrant. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree, which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs. The same way anyone gets anything here, of course. I made friends with the right people. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has little need for more of them. For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The Minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Sure you are. And what is it you're delivering today? Typical. Why don't you come back when you're ready to actually make a delivery?
That's the last of them.
Finally. Is it just me, or nothing exciting ever happened? They're closed. Someone saw a sprat.
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection. Some assembly required. 24/7 Furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not go for a bite at one of our many restaurants, like CNP's Blazing Borscht Barbecue, or Rizzo's All-You-Can-Crunch Cereal Buffet. Or maybe you'd like to head to the bar and enjoy an ice-cold Zero-G Brew by Spacer's Choice. Zero-G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you, although in the early retirement district, nothing will. All this and more will be complimentary for the entirety of your stay, courtesy of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. You won't have to spend a bit. So relax, grab a refreshment from one of our vending machines, and enjoy our specially constructed welcome center. While you're here, be sure to check out the displays for some fun facts about the early retirement program and selection process. Then, once you're ready, enter the elevator at the end of the hall and leave your troubles behind. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Today is the first day of your early retirement. Congratulations. Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood Collection. Some assembly required. 24/7 furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not go for a bite at one of our many restaurants, like CNP's Blazing Borscht Barbecue or Rizzo's All-You-Can-Crunch Cereal Buffet?
Oh no.
Processing system running.
Security authorized. Controller investigating the area for unauthorized area persons. Now,
Here they come! I'll fix you right up! I got him! Not bad, huh? Our body
This would be a great arena match, but the board's gotta make it a death trap.
Security lockpicking is illegal. What do you think you're doing? Suspicion levels minimal. Carry on. System alert. Processing beginning.
You got nimble fingers, Captain.
Within the parameters of the law. Halt. Sweet.
Round they go!
System.
ever.
Take your best shot, asshole. Stay practicing it.
We could bring him home. You'd let me have a giant sprat, right, Captain? So long as I fed it? Oh, you got that? It's done.
My dear fellow, you've no idea how our production is.
Oh, what are you doing here? Nothing. Nothing. Why? Does it look like I'm up to something? Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I? I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then. They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats and exterminator mechanicals. Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mind the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course. Well, to maintain things, of course. Like big, humming machine things with gears. And pipes. Water pipes. Air pipes. All sorts of pipes. That's why they connect the city from the Acropolis district to here. Everyone knows sewer sprats carry diseases. And the exterminator mechanicals have been known to fire on larger targets. Why they'd do that when they're only supposed to attack sprats, I've no idea. But there are rumors. Some people say there are strange things in those tunnels. Assassins. A room full of murderous automechanicals. Monsters hungry for human flesh. A hidden bureaucratic purgatory where things and people are lost forever. Not that I place any stock in silly rumors, of course. To deal with the sewer sprats, of course. They're quite the nuisance. Therefore, my, research. Oh, very well. It's true. I do run studies on them at the lab, but I also have a special connection with them. See, I'm an enormous fan of all my colonists. The early seasons, before the plotlines got tacky. You must have seen the classic episodes. Well, I name all my sprats after my favorite characters. That way, their stories can live on in rodent form. So you see, it's imperative that I get them all back. Not just names, they all have backstories too. There's Lord Reginald Kim III, Lady Philippa Farnsworth, Vonda von Vermington, Haroon Greenlee, Iskander Emmanuel Sanchez, and Evelyn Ensley Okoye. Ah, she's the chief executive of Farnsworth Incorporated and a fearless captain of industry. He's a mercurial shareholder. They're in a rather tumultuous marriage contract. She's an ambitious shareholder in Farnsworth Incorporated who wants more than stock. Or does she? It's difficult to tell what exactly she's after, but she is trying to seduce both Lord Reginald and Lady Philippa. So is everyone. Haroon is a mysterious young man with amnesia. His backstory's still a work in progress. Iskander is Lady Philippa's trusty assistant. He's trying to seduce Vonda. She's a member of Farnsworth Incorporated's regulatory board. A wise woman with a sharp tongue and a heart of gold. Something else? I still am. After all, I'm a person of very little influence and only middling prospects. No one does favors for free. But I must say, I'm far too distressed to think critically about your suspiciously kind offer.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment.
Have a prosperous day.
Real slick. You gotta teach me that.
Any luck finding my sprats? Truly? Why, this is marvelous! And all safe and sound. Oh, Reginald, Philippa, Vonda, Haroon, Iskander, Evelyn, I'm never letting you out of my sight again. Please, take this. It's not much, but it's the best I can offer for the safe return of my darlings. Now, I've got to get back to the lab before my supervisor logs my absence.
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs. It is going well, I hope. I knew it. I just knew it. What a disaster. Did you get a good look around? What was it like? Truly? Why, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I can't believe they kept this from us. From me. The nerve. The audacity. Here, take your payment. I have to fetch my things. I don't care what I have to do. They'll give me luxury or give me death.
I feel like I ought to be more conflicted about this.
This reminds me of... Oh, never mind.
I hope this fancy soap we got is extra strength. I'm feeling a mite ripe.
Something on your mind?
Wow, look at the size of this basement. If someone back home wanted to make a secret lab, they'd have to put it in a closet.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside?
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy.
Hagen? I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen. To keep me quiet. But if you didn't know that, I'm guessing they didn't send you. I always assumed they would put a bullet in my head one of these days. I don't know anyone named Hagen.
That's a gentle, womanly way of putting it, Captain. She's obsessed with aliens.
This is utter nonsense. I've never even been to Groundbreaker. What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks. I'll tell you everything, just don't hurt them. Too many people have been harmed on my account.
That's a rare dose of sincerity for Byzantium.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. Not for lack of trying. I wanted to save them all, but I wasn't strong enough. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy. Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. You came to kill me. I assume that's still on the table. Please don't. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
I try not to, least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
It seems like she's trying to help, Captain. Honest help. Ain't many in the colony doing that. We should let her try.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? What kind of scientist would I be if I held to a promise like that? I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. You sure have an inflated sense of self-importance, but that doesn't make you wrong. Now move along. The doc has a lot of work ahead of her, tidying up and such.